Every year in the world of football, we get to witness some absolute insanity unfold. And I guess it's that time of year again. So throughout this week, there's been a couple of incidents. I mean, this isn't anything new. This happens pretty much every weekend in Spain with Vinny Jr. No, idiots, just because he acts like a complete ass doesn't mean you can call him a monkey. I don't know why this is so hard to understand. Anyways though, we begin our story at the beginning of the week of July 15th. During a preseason match between Wolves and newly promoted Serie A side Como, Hwang Hee-chan was racially abused. Hwang reported the incident to the ref, which then prompted his teammate Daniel Podence to throw a punch and get sent off. Other teammates of his and even manager Gary O'Neill brought up the idea of walking off the pitch, but Hwang decided he wanted to keep going. But following that match, Wolves submitted a formal complaint to UEFA, which then prompted Como a day later to release the shittiest response imaginable. And I'm serious, I have no idea how the PR did such a bad job. Their owner is like one of the richest in Italian football. But yeah, the statement starts with the usual, club doesn't tolerate racism, we condemn all forms, yada yada yada. Then the second paragraph, the abuse in question, was a Como defender saying to a teammate regarding Hwang, quote, "Ignore him, he thinks he's Jackie Chan." Which for me personally brings back so many great high school memories of when I was called Jackie Chan in the hallways. Rural North Carolina high schools. Gotta love them. Anyways, in the third paragraph, it all went downhill, because Como decided to double down and say that the Jackie Chan comment was made in reference to Hwang's teammates calling him, quote, Channy. I mean, come on, man. Oh yes, our player did say, in fact, hey, stop eating dog, slant eyes, but this was not racist. He just overheard the opposing player's teammates say he's got that dog in him. He was simply just concerned. You gonna really attack an animal rights activist? Also, while we're here, and while it's not all of them, they are never being the allegations. But I want to go back to Hwang's teammates, more specifically Daniel Podence, because this man in particular invited to every single KBBQ worldwide. This man will be eating and drinking good. Well, actually, okay. Maybe for his sake, don't introduce him to soju. However, Daniel Podence's response to racism reminds me of one of my favorite stories in the world of football. You see, back in 2012, Didier Zokora was called the N-word by Emre Belözoğlu, and when their teams met again a few months later, retribution. Zokora's teammates were basically jumping Emre, and then Zokora himself kicked the bastard straight in the dick. Beautiful, sweet justice. You can kneel all you want, ignore all you want, that obviously hasn't been working. And I don't care what anyone says. Oh, you give the power to them if you retaliate. F that. To deal with the racist player, you kick that shit out. Literally. By the way, the reason I know about this story is through one of my favorite videos on YouTube. I first watched this when I was 12. I keep coming back to it every few years. I don't know. It's something about the actual production of this video that I just love so much about it. Highly recommend. On to the other incidents, and this one caused an even bigger stir. After beating Colombia to win their second straight Copa America, the Argentinian national team celebrated by singing a racist song about the French national team? The lyrics go like this. They play for France, but their parents are from Angola. Their mother is from Cameroon, while their father is from Nigeria, but their passport says French. Very ironic coming from the same players whose descendants come from Italy and Germany. And also Scotland for some reason. Oh yeah, there's also the transphobic line which references a rumor about how Mbappe was dating a trans woman at some point. But I ask again, why after beating Colombia, do you sing a discriminatory song about the French national team? This is like if Spain won the Euros and started singing about Argentina's poverty levels. This song originally popped up during World Cup 2022, but at that point it was just a bunch of fans, so we all just kind of thought, oh yeah, this is pretty bad, but we shouldn't associate these subhumans with the players. The player live streaming this to the whole world was midfielder Enzo Fernandez. Enzo plays for Club Chelsea, and has 7 teammates that are French and black. Is he f***ing stupid? One of which called him and the whole national team out on social media. Shout out Wesley Fofana for that, by the way. We also saw some of Enzo's teammates unfollow him on Instagram. Mid-table finish and race war? This is going to be some season for Chelsea. The French Football Federation then, a couple hours later, submitted a formal complaint to FIFA, to which FIFA said they would investigate. Then a few hours after that, we got a statement from Enzo Fernandez. And just like Como, this was a complete disaster. He admits that the song was very offensive, and then in the very next paragraph apologized for, quote, getting caught up in the euphoria of winning Copa America. Can you guys just say what you did wrong and take the next steps to educate yourself? Why is there always some kind of excuse? Also, Comic Sans? Comic Sans? Oh, but don't worry. The excuses don't end there, though. A couple days later, Lionel Messi's personal bitch, Rodrigo de Paul, showed how stupid he is by straight up just admitting the song was racist. No, I'm not kidding. He said, quote, you don't analyze the songs that much. I can understand people who have suffered racism and don't like it. Enzo Fernandez, oh yeah, it was just kind of euphoria of the moment, I wasn't really thinking. Rodrigo de Paul, I am a proud racist man. Also, why are we only talking about Enzo here? Just from de Paul's statement alone, it appears he had no problem singing it either. I can't confirm whether or not he and many others did, but seeing how they're all defending Enzo, that's just a massive self-report. The fact that no one has come out and said, hey, listen, this was bad, I wasn't a part of it, any of that kind of stuff, definitely says quite a lot. Again, can't confirm any names because it is like a 240p video, but this is all very telling. Responses didn't just come from the players though. We also heard some from government officials. The Undersecretary of Sport publicly called for Messi to apologize for the national team's behavior, and he was fired. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spectrum, you had the Argentinian vice president saying that because France were colonizers, they have no right to call out Argentina. Bitch, I don't recall Leslie Ugochukwu being responsible for colonialism. Are you f***ing dumb? And while I really don't want to talk about them, I feel like I have to, because we have to point out the true stupidity online. I've seen some dumb ass takes. Oh, they were just telling the truth. When did it become a crime to tell the truth? Marcus Thuram was born in Italy, and Eduardo Camavinga moved from Angola to France at age 2. Besides those two players, every single one of those French national team players was born in France. I've also seen people, and the cuck, blame the victim of racism more than the perpetrator of racism. You're telling me Wesley Fofana and his teammates had a completely valid reaction to a discriminatory song about them? No! There's also the people using videos and images of Enzo being happy around black people to say that he's not racist. But it's even weird when you think about it a little bit deeper, because these people are just kind of acting like black people aren't even like a human, they're just like a robot. Look at how he treats the black people. Some white liberal ass shit. And when it comes to shit like this, the whataboutisms are to be expected. This one in particular references the Dembele Japanese hotel incident from a few years back. I made a whole video about that, by the way. Now, I'll agree that the outrage from the general public definitely wasn't enough, and that opens conversation for the fact that anti-Asian discrimination seems to be kind of not really talked about as much. But if you're using this incident as like a gotcha, like, oh, well, you were racist at one point, that means it cancels out. That I'm sorry, but you never cared either. Listen, I'm not saying you need to ruin your friend's grass, but I can assure you that when the news first came out, you definitely didn't say a damn thing. But to finish this off, to anyone who still disagrees and believes the song wasn't racist, that was some bad news for you, because the whole national team itself definitely disagrees with you there. Because right at the end of Enzo's stream, you can distinctly hear someone say, "Corta el vivo." Cut the live. They knew what they were singing, and they knew exactly what would happen if the rest of the world saw it.
Truth be told, I'm not a very big fan of the black people.
But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about that, put my little twist on it. You know how it be. By the way, I know people are asking, oh, Maxwell, where's the USA video? Oh, Maxwell, where's the World Cup qualifiers video? Please, listen, I just came back from Berlin like 2 days ago. I'll get to it. But anyways, though, a massive shout out to all our members, including Janos Balas, Brazilian Fury, Respect the Jeff, Othman JN, Habakkuk, Anazir Makalankam, Alex Rod, Ulta, Miguel Munoz, Return Fire, Rory Burns, Slatterkit, Snifferx, Dakuoka Fan, The Cypriot 35, Not Windows 95 Man, Kentra Agatra, Big Boars the Big Baby Eater II, Kerbo, Unkwell, Saint Terrence, Sylvia Citrus, Ryan Jans, Wise Orange, Rashford Enthusiast, Cocosaurus Rex, LeJames Braun, Samu, Just MRC, Cheesebait, Cooper Rory, The Somali Pirate, Claymore Roomba, Windergel, M4 Does Stuff, Finn Likes Rugby More, Davox, The Portergeyser, TPSK25, Polar Protos, Von Fan, Lucian Von Kreuz, Ethan Bennett Loves Kavicha, Grzegorz Brzezikiewicz, Mano Tango Fay, Adrian, Chris Visconsi, Dominic Griffin, Kyler Krebs, Mohammed Altanib, Niche, Patrick Barley, Rashford God 5, Raspberry Ale, subscribe to Tende Tim, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to become a member, there's a link in the description below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you like. As you can see, I am back home for like a decent amount of time until I go to Asia in like October. But anyways, like no tournaments going on, so I should be able to stream a little bit more. So follow that Twitch. But until then, I'll see you guys.